So it's come down to this. Daily Wire has made offers to Tucker Carlson. Glenn Beck went on air inviting Tucker Carlson. And most recently, throwing their hat in the ring is Patrick Bet-David, CEO of Valuetainment. Also putting real numbers up there. And this is stuff that is definitely feasible, definitely within the budget. Something that would actually fit, but I'll get into that later. But first, before you get scared thinking the cat is talking to you through telepathy, he is not. That is, in fact, me talking. I'm MC Too Tall.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast, and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts, and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring, and George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
Bone Frog Coffee is founded by a Navy SEAL, and he has employed some of the best experts in coffee making and coffee distribution, including the founder of Seattle's Best. And so not only are you getting one of the greatest coffees in America, but you're also getting a coffee whose proceeds go towards helping the families of people who've made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. So, order yourself some Bone Frog Coffee today. Today, order it. Okay. It's your boy in the building. MC Tutu, what up? And we're joined in this broadcast today by my cat Petey, and as you can see, Petey's a big boy here. Petey is a big boy. I just woke him up because, you know, you're a big-time co-host of this particular podcast, so we can't have you sleeping on the job, right, Petey? Anyway, and proper attire is a must. That's why I'm here in my pajamas, covered with a damn blanket. So this is big. This news that I mentioned at the beginning of the show. As you know, within the same week, both unceremoniously, Dan Bongino and Tucker Carlson left Fox News. And poor Brian Kilmeade, great guy, by the way. You know, I know people who know him very well, and they tell me he's a real swell guy, and yeah, he's taken the brunt of the wrath of Fox viewers rapidly turning into former Fox viewers. They've given him Tucker's spot, and the viewers, they're really not hitting. It's not really a hit on him, but a hit on the network. And they're like, you know, and I feel bad for Brian because I'm sure a lot of viewers are saying, well, who's he? give us Tucker back. Give us our guy back. And, you know, I do feel bad for him, and hopefully he can, like, walk out and join Daily Wire or The Blaze or someone like that. But speaking of Daily Wire and The Blaze, they've made offers, or actually, it's been rumored that Daily Wire had given Tucker an invite. And I saw the broadcast where Glenn is there with Stu, and Glenn often has the host of Stu Does America as his co-host. And what happens is, right there, with Stu in the room with him, Glenn just blatantly invited Tucker to be part of the Blaze. And that's all well and good, but what trumps both the Blaze and the Daily Wire is that Valuetainment CEO, Patrick Bet-David, he actually went on air and put out a 5-year, $100 million offer to Tucker Carlson. 5 years, $100 million. Okay. The position of president of Valuetainment and a voice in the creative content that Valuetainment should put out, as far as documentaries, movies, and things like that. He'll have a say in the matter. He'll have a board seat where he has a say in those matters. And there was something else there was something else on there that made the deal even sweeter. I forgot exactly what it was. I read through it before doing the broadcast. Sorry, Peter, I'll just put this right here. I'm sorry to cover you up with that, but there it is. And there you have it. So it'll be really, really interesting. Now, I had predicted in a previous broadcast that Tucker may join the first, or that the first would at least send him an invite. They haven't done that yet. You know, now, although I myself would think it kind of cool to be seeing Tucker Carlson, Jesse Kelly, Bill O'Reilly, and Dana Lash, and Mike Slater, and Liz Wheeler, with Tucker, all combined under the same wheel there, under the same umbrella. That would be a real psych out kind of thing, but I don't think the first is even going to make an offer, because quite frankly, that's a pretty hefty offer that PBD made to Tucker. And the only way Tucker could refuse that is if he's going to do completely his own podcasts, and he's going to go, as they say, full Rogan, which is the route that former Fox News contributor Megyn Kelly went. And you know, she left on top. Matter of fact, Fox had offered her lots and lots of money to stay, and she just left and went to NBC. And after she had left NBC, she had did an interview. She had did an interview on Fox, and some wild animal named Irina Briganti, you know, started taping her conversations. And so I'm sure she's got some outtake stuff of Megyn Kelly where she's eventually going to try to out Megyn Kelly for something that the world is expecting Megyn Kelly to be embarrassed about, or would expect Megyn Kelly to be embarrassed about. But meanwhile, this Irene Briganti, who I would not doubt at all, there's not a doubt in my mind, you know, that she's behind the release of these Tucker tapes, where they kept the cameras rolling while he was off air, and I see the actual context of it. Now they're saying, oh, he called some girl yummy, but meanwhile he's saying he was talking about some idiot and saying, yeah, I don't like him, but I'm sure, you know, I'm sure his girlfriend's yummy. You know, which is something we do. We as men have to, you know, make these gestures to piss fellow males off, especially the ones who think they're alpha and they're really beta. And you say, you know, you put them in their place with a thing like that. But I don't even think this was that kind of move. I think it was just joking around and lighthearted stuff, because he goes, well, no, I never met his girl, and I probably wouldn't think she's yummy if I met her. Oh, by the way, and he flips the double barrel middle finger, and he tells you know, media waste matters, anti-America, that's what I call it, to F off, or F you. And so he actually knew that there was some spy shit going on that may be used against him in the future. And Fox is trying to claim this is the reason that they let go of him. And meanwhile, it's like, this is stuff that should not even have been videoed, much less released. And since it is, it shows a lighter side of Tucker Carlson. It actually makes him more likable to people who have liked him. I don't see people looking at this as a thing, as like a deal breaker. I don't see people looking at this and saying to themselves, well, I supported Tucker Carlson wholeheartedly until he says that guy's girlfriend is probably yummy, but I never met the girlfriend and probably wouldn't find her yummy. So, and ever since then, I do not support Tucker Carlson. I don't see that happening. I do not see that happen. And the menopausal thing, isn't a berating thing to women who are older. You know, it's not as nasty and catty and degrading as Don Lemon's comment about Nikki Haley being past her prime, when the two of them, I believe, were about the same age. You know, so needless to, oh yeah, of course he's out of a job too, and to my understanding, so is who's that guy that Sean Hannity calls Humpty Dumpty? Brian Stelter. You know, Brian Stelter's out of a job. Don Lemon is out of a job. Chris Cuomo's out of a job. Tucker Carlson is taking time off. Like, he's marketable. Brian Stelter isn't. Don Lemon isn't unless he reinvents himself. He's the only one salvageable among them, but he has to reinvent himself. But now, you know, if you're a misogynist pig, Don broadcaster who is the brother of a misogynist pig governor. I'm not saying that they're actually this, but they have the reputation of being this now. Your whole rep is tainted amongst all the woke people you try to entertain. You are not marketable. Don Lemon, believe it or not, and I'm not trying to turn against my my base of viewers by saying this. I'm speaking from an objectional view. He can reinvent himself. He is, I think, he's the only one among them with a salvageable career. Brian Stelter, I think he's going to be that pudgy, roly-poly beta male sponging off his much stronger alpha breadwinning wife. And Tucker, the world is at his feet right now, and no matter what Irene Briganti does to try to change that, no matter what the New York Times does to try to change that, no matter what the New York Post does to try to change that, Fox News, Rupert Murdoch himself, who wholeheartedly supported Mini Mike Bloomberg when calling people who held a job that I once held thugs with no respect for the law. So I guess if the Fugitive Slave Act was still a law, that law should be respected, and these human beings should go back to being property of their southern owners. Is that correct, Mike? And is that correct, Rupert Murdoch, who wholeheartedly supported and backed Mike Bloomberg when saying that? See, I never liked Rupert Murdoch. I just don't. And I hope this doesn't get any family members that I have who work for Fox in any kind of trouble, who shall remain nameless in this particular broadcast. But I never liked Rupert Murdoch. I just didn't. I never liked him. I never liked Phil Calico. I've never liked Jay Walder. Bill Gates, I'll have to admit I did like in the beginning until I found out he was a cutthroat that stole everything that he owns and calls his intellectual property from Steve Jobs. Screwed Steve Jobs over. Almost had Steve Jobs penniless, but luckily Steve Jobs was smart enough to rebuild himself and create a whole different system that, unlike Bill Gates' version of the shit, can't get a virus, which is another thing. How come we're trusting antivirus shit to some damn fool who couldn't even invent software that could deflect computer viruses, that had to rely on John McAfee, who I believe the Illuminati assassinated. Well, not the Illuminati, but conglomerate of secret societies that we loosely refer to by nickname as the Illuminati. So don't be fact checking me on that. I don't mean the specific group founded by Adam Weishaupt. I mean a whole conglomerate of secret societies that we loosely call that. Kind of like your TV listings in your daily newspaper is not the TV guide, but we frickin' call it that anyway. Just like the sticky thing you put on your cuts is called a Band-Aid, even if it's not the specific Band-Aid brand. We loosely term secret societies we loosely term a secret society or conglomerate of secret societies as the Illuminati. Let's just be real with that. We just stick a brand name of something like that as the umbrella term for all of it. You know, just like, you know, just like we were like this close about 50 years ago to loosely terming every shitbox car a Ford, even if it was a, I don't know, well, Ford was the only company making shitty cars in those days. But anyway, getting back to this offer, Patrick Bet-David has made a very substantial offer that, unless Tucker does his own thing, unless he goes full Rogan or full Megyn Kelly style, barring that, this offer from Patrick Bet-David of Valuetainment looks like the best offer thus far because it has substance. There's actual numbers there. And Patrick is a businessman. He lives, breathes, eats, and sleeps business. And he'll always, if you notice in a conversation, stats, facts, numbers, it just like pour right out of him because that's what he deals with all day, every day. He's become, you know, one with this lifestyle, and that's why, you know, he's building money on top of money on top of money, because he deals with numbers all the time. It's actually something of a great interest to him. It's something that he seems to enjoy doing. So that's why he's able to just pull numbers out of just anywhere in their actual factual statistics. Because, you know, as a person that lives, eats, breathes, and sleeps business, one of the biggest catalysts of the business, the very food and nourishment of the business is the numbers. And in expected Patrick Bet-David form, he shot to the point and put out specific numbers with something that's very attainable to live up to, an offer that's very attainable to live up to, and realistic, and something that can be met with without any troubles. And because of how these two, if linked up, will mesh in such a way that this machine will just get bigger and bigger. And yes, he was saying we're not the biggest company. You add Tucker to that, see what happens. You'll see something different. And a lot of Gen X, Xennials, and Millennials don't go to cable TV for their sources. They don't go to cable TV. That's a late boomer thing. That's a latter-day boomer thing. You know, they go to the internet. And some will actually log onto a computer, while as the majority whip out their phone. It's right there. Which gets me into a whole different new discussion that I will eventually get into on some other time. But I had something here with substance today, and I'm pretty proud of myself for that. I'd like to thank the players in the game for giving me something to talk about. And let me sit up like a proper gentleman, because I've noticed I've been slouching throughout this whole thing. I think that's because I did not have my camera angle right. And this is why I need to link up with some bigger heads to see what I'm saying? This is why I need to link up with some bigger heads to get this done in a more professional way. You know, because after a while, you get a little older. The average 53-year-old man going on 54 does not want to keep relearning something and self-teaching themselves a whole new trade and building their life over again. And the desire to do that becomes less and less as a person gets older and older. And that's where we're going from there. And this is going right to YouTube as soon as I turn this off. So my final closing statement, of course, is respect God, watch out for the Illuminati, listen to my music because it's good music, follow my ways because they're righteous ways. Hey, buddy boy, how you doing? Stay strong and keep kicking that slang. This your boy in the building, MC Too Tall. Yow.